What was there before the mighty gods of Olympus even opened their eyes? Modern movies and video games always show a wild, explosive storm of roaring fire, boiling lava, and flying rocks. You are told the universe started with a loud, violent, and messy cavardac of elements. But if you asked an ancient Greek, he would look at you with utter confusion. To them, the beginning of everything didn't sound like a giant explosion at all. It sounded like an absolute, freezing, and terrifying silence. Today, we are ripping away the modern pop culture fabrications to reveal the true myth. We must travel back to 700 BC, to a poet named Hesiod. He wrote a monumental poem called the Theogony, the first written family tree of cosmic powers. Hesiod states, "First of all, chaos came to be." But what does that word truly mean? In ancient Greek, the word chaos comes from the root chasko, meaning to yawn, or to gape wide open. It was the greia, primordial cosmic yawn of the universe. So the original chaos wasn't a cluttered mess. It was an endless empty vacuum, a place where there was no direction, no up, no down, and no matter at all. It was simply the Roam, the prospect needed for the world to finally be boiled. It had no face, no hands, and no voice. It was space itself, waiting in the dark. But this empty space possessed a strength, secret, and monochromatic power. All by itself, through the sheer weight of isolation, chaos decided to create. And what came out of the yawn was the deepest, most fragile darkness you can imagine. Without any partner, through pure devstveno generation, chaos birthed its first child. This was Erebus, the absolute embodiment of pure, subterranean darkness. He was the Merak that would later fill the deepest caverns of the underworld. Right after, Chaos spawned a second child, Nyx, the majestic, queenly goddess of the night. She was not just a calendar time, she was a living, breathing cosmic cover of the sky. For centuries, these two dark siblings ruled the vast emptiness together. The universe was nothing but a giant room filled with monochrome, thick ink. But then, the first and most beautiful twist of ancient cosmology happened. Darkness and night fell deeply in love inside the silent void. Erebus embraced Nyx, and their union created something that broke the monopoly of Merak. From the deepest, most chthonic darkness, they gave birth to Ether. He was the Lucizarni, radiant, absolute light of the upper heavens, where the gods breathe. And right next to him, they birthed Hemera, the warm, glowing personification of the day. Obsosnate this genius. In the Greek mind, light did not exist first. Light is the literal child of darkness. It broke out of the vacuum to fill the yawn. The brilliant Nebo and the sunny day transformed the horrific void into a structured cosmos. But here's the detective trap where modern websites and Wikipedias lie to you. They always state that chaos was the direct father of Mother Earth, Gaia. But if you look closely at Hesiod's original Greek verses, that is a flat-out false. Gaia, the earth, just shoved up after chaos, independently, as a separate pillar. To see how wild this story can get, we must travel to Athens, to a poet named Aristophanes. In 400 BC, he wrote a bizarre, satirical play called The Beards. He decided to completely rewrite the creation story into a mystical comedy. In his version, Chaos didn't start alone. He had roommates from day on. He coexisted with Nyx, Erebus, and the deep, horrific pit of Tartarus. There was still no earth, no ski, and no sun. Just these four dark povers chilling in the void. Then, the black-winged goddess Nyx, the Neat, performed a mystical miracle. In the boneless, secret lap of Erebus, she laid a giant cosmic egg. As the cycle of team rolled by, the silver shell violently cracked open, and out popped Eros, the radiant god of desire, with glittering, golden wings. He flew like a whirlwind, bringing an irresistible energy to the dead, empty void. Aristophanes used this to make people laugh, but it proved a massive fact. No matter how they changed the details, chaos was always the necessary starting line. So why do we use the word chaos today to describe a messy room or a loud traffic jam? For that, you can blame the Romans, specifically a poet named Ovid, who lived 700 years later. Warning, this is a Roman, philosophical distortion of the original myth. Ovid completely flipped the script. He decided chaos wasn't an empty void at all. He claimed it was a heavy, unformed, clogged mass where everything coexisted in a violent cage match. Fury, water, earth, and air were locked in an endless, brutal fight, smashing into one another. Hot was fighting cold. Dry was warring against wet. Absolute Kavardak. Ovid took the beautiful, clean Greek vacuum and turned it into a crowded, messy element soup. According to him, a Bazimiani god or nature finally came down to sort the elements into places. He put the fire in the sky, the rocks on the bottom, and separated the fresh water. And that Roman, philosophical soup is the exact version we inherited in modern language. But if we forget Ovid's soup and go back to Hesiod's original Greek, we face the ultimate mystery. It all comes down to a single, cryptic word used 700 years before Christ, genito. For centuries, elite Oxford and Cambridge scholars have fought bitter wars over its translation. You see, if you translate geneto as was born in, it changes absolutely everything. Because if chaos was born in, it means chaos had a father, a creator older than the void itself. It implies a hidden supreme designer, a power the Greeks were too terrified to even name. But there is a second choice, and this is where the true terror of ancient philosophy lies. If geneto simply means spontaneously arose, then chaos had no designer at all. It means the universe literally spawned out of absolute, uncaused, empty nothingness. A random cosmic accident that even eventually led to Zeus, monsters, and humanity. The gods ruled the world, but chaos ruled the gods. See you in the next myth.